Tonight on CBC Vancouver News.
It's devastating. These animals deserve the right to live. They should not be slaughtered.
After months of fighting back and international attention, a BC ostrich farm loses its appeal to save hundreds of its birds from a cull. Plus, the struggle to find and keep work. Statistics Canada says more British Columbians are relying on employment insurance.
An upward trend. There's a lot of uncertainty out there.
What's behind the growing trend? And
Surrey's got a big population and a lot of funding, so that might help with some projects needed here.
should Surrey and White Rock join up? Why some residents and business owners want the cities to become one.
This is CBC Vancouver News.
Hello and thank you for joining us. I'm Baneet Braich. A BC ostrich farm has lost its appeal to save more than 400 of its birds. The flock was ordered to be culled in January following an avian flu outbreak. It's a case that's garnered international attention, including a call from U.S. Secretary of Health Robert Kennedy Jr. to spare the herd. Janella Hamilton joins us with the latest. Janella, what was outlined in the court's decision today?
Well, Baneet, the Federal Court of Appeal dismissed Universal Ostrich Farm, which has spent months in court fighting to protect its herd. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency ordered the cull after 2 dead birds on the Edgewood farm tested positive for avian flu late last year. Since then, the farm has tried to make a case that the surviving birds should be allowed to live, citing the potential to study the birds to provide insight into how to fight disease. The case first made its way to federal court in April, with the judge at that time ruling the CFIA had the authority to make decisions about how to manage the threat of avian flu. The farm appealed that case, and now the Federal Court of Appeal has unanimously ruled against the farm, writing, "While we have considerable sympathy for them, the law we are bound to apply inevitably leads to the conclusion that this appeal must be dismissed."
Janella, this has been, going on for months. How is the farm reacting to this decision now?
Baneet, a spokesperson for Universal Ostrich Farm, says the news is devastating, but says this is not the end of their fight.
There's a lot of people that have the same belief system that we do. These animals deserve the right to live. They should not be slaughtered. And we have gotten flooded with calls from supporters all around the world.
She says the farm plans to file a stay order to prevent the ostriches from being killed, but adds the chance of taking another appeal to the Supreme Court is very low. The appeal was dismissed with costs at $7,000. The farm says it will now be on the hook for those costs. We do not know when the cull could go ahead, but the farm is calling for supporters to gather peacefully this weekend. Baneet?
And that is Janella Hamilton reporting. Thank you. A new report finds more British Columbians are relying on employment insurance. That uptick comes amid mounting trade war uncertainty. And as John Hernandez reports, experts warn the job market could get even more competitive in the months ahead.
It's not as easy to make a living in BC as it was just 1 year ago.
There's a lot of uncertainty out there, and employers are finding it maybe difficult to hire more people.
The latest Statistics Canada data shows there were nearly 55,000 British Columbians who received employment insurance benefits in June. That marks a 14% increase compared to the same month last year. The uptick most acute in Metro Vancouver.
It's up so far in 2025. This follows the last half of 2024, when it was relatively stable.
Jobs in manufacturing among those that have been hit the hardest, an outcome that some economists say comes as no surprise.
This would be expected in the context of a trade war where some of our sectors get hit by tariffs and people are losing their jobs.
With sectors like steel and aluminum and auto manufacturing feeling the squeeze from tariffs, experts warn the trade war is likely also wearing on consumer confidence.
Fearing that there might be some problems down the road, they may decide not to buy the things that they were thinking of. They may decide not to go to the restaurant that they were thinking of going.
Uncertainty also putting many in the sales and service sector on pause. Those jobs are also down.
Well, we get a lot of calls every day for labor, warehouse working, clerical, customer service roles.
This recruiter says during times of recession, unskilled work tends to dry up first. So he says it's important for job seekers to be proactive.
There are jobs out there. There is rotation of jobs. People leave jobs, they retire, they change jobs. It's not a full-blown depression, but it will be more challenging to find position and more competitive.
Trying times nationwide as more and more Canadians seek financial relief. John Hernandez, CBC News, Vancouver.
BC has revealed a new batch of housing targets for several municipalities, including Burnaby, Coquitlam, Langford, and Richmond. The province hopes it will boost housing supply over the next 5 years. The list of 10 targets ranges in size from just over 900 new homes in Penticton to more than 10,000 in Burnaby. The government says these numbers reflect 75% of each municipality's estimated housing need. It's also provided guidelines which recommend the number of units by size, how many should be rentals, and below market rentals, which they say they should be more than 14,000 overall. As a trial for the man accused in the deadly Lapu-Lapu Day Festival tragedy continues, a large memorial for those killed has moved. Elena Kelly has more on the new location and why it was relocated.
What once filled an entire street has been moved a few meters away here. There are toys, handwritten letters, and flowers. This memorial is significantly smaller, but it is still vital and meaningful to this community.
These were mothers and brothers. They were our neighbors, our friends. And so this memorial is important to keep us connected to those lives.
On April 26, 11 people were killed. It was the deadliest vehicle ramming attack in Canadian history. In the hours and days after, people started placing these items on either side of where the tragedy occurred, here and here. They've been packed up and moved to Mountain View Cemetery.
I walk by here every day, take my daily walk. It should be permanent. Once you build it up, then it's permanent.
After speaking with the victims and family members, the city moved the memorial to this temporary location due to the school year beginning and for safety and accessibility.
I think having this space where the community can come, reflect, be in the presence of these memorials is really important. We are making sure that there are resources available to folks. We understand that moving the memorial, court hearings, that can bring up a lot of emotions for the community.
As for the accused, Kaiji Adam Lowe will be in court on Friday as he continues to face a hearing on his fitness to stand trial. There is a sweeping publication ban on information presented in court, and the judge has reserved his decision on an application to loosen that ban. Elena Kelly, CBC News, Vancouver.
A new petition is pushing for what could be a significant change south of the Fraser. Launched earlier this month, it calls for White Rock to amalgamate with the larger municipality of Surrey. CBC Saurabh Sandhu has more.
Gary Purewal owns a property in White Rock. He says he's frustrated dealing with the city over what he calls slow permitting process.
There's a significant concerns, businesses suffering, them having not properly getting permits on time, where their leases are up, and other legal issues that we see that is a problem.
Purewal and his friends have started an online petition calling for White Rock to become part of Surrey. The petition says White Rock Council has failed to deliver on transparency, fairness and responsible governance, and amalgamating with Surrey would bring better access to public services and lower taxes.
Any amenity we want to use, pool, anything, we have to go over to the city of Surrey. Any schools not here, that we have to go over to city of Surrey.
According to the BC Charter, 2 or more existing municipalities may merge, but only if more than 50% of voters in each support support the decision.
They would have to vote and say what their decision is. The benefits could be a lower tax system. There could be access to more services. But again, if you're part of the bigger machine of a big Surrey, the fastest growing city in British Columbia, and that's not where you want to be, then there are, discounts to consider as well.
City of White Rock says it's aware of the petition and it will monitor and review as needed. The idea is gaining traction with some in the community.
Surrey's got a big population and a lot of funding, so that might help with some projects needed here.
I feel that staying White Rock would just make it all the more special, and we'd sort of lose that little bit of uniqueness by becoming Surrey.
Taxation base for White Rock is too small. I think for White Rock, it has immense advantages to have the large taxation base for Surrey.
Surrey Mayor Brenda Locke says she understands some White Rock residents are frustrated with rising costs and uncertainty, but that White Rock's future is for its council and residents to decide. Saurabh Sandhu, CBC News, Surrey.
A former Gurdwara in the small town of McKenzie, BC, is about to take on a new life. The local Sikh community has donated the building to an arts group. Anna Pearson shows us the beginnings of a community centre.
In the small mountain town of McKenzie, BC, there are only a handful of Sikh residents left. But when Surinder Takar first came from India as a teen in the early 80s, the community was thriving.
There was about 85 families, and we don't even have a church that time. And I believe they built in 83 or 84. Then we go every Sunday over there, get together.
From the 1960s onward, Sikh settlers made their way to small towns throughout British Columbia to work in the fishing and forestry industries, bringing their families with them and becoming an important part of places like McKenzie. But in 2008, the town of about 4,000 residents experienced significant mill closures that saw over 1,000 forestry workers lose their jobs. Mayor Joan Atkinson said this caused many members of the Sikh community to relocate to the Lower Mainland.
In 2000, you saw lots of presence with the Sikh community, but after the mill shut down in 08 and 09, around there, most of them have left the communities.
Takar says as the population dwindled, it became increasingly difficult to keep up the Gurdwara that once served nearly 400 people.
Most of the family get retired, they gone to Vancouver. So there's only 4 or 5 people live in McKenzie, right? So our community decide we have to do something about it because 4 people cannot handle that building, right?
They decided to donate the building to the McKenzie Community Arts Council, who needed a permanent home.
As artists, we kind of just saw potential, and so we decided to take it on, and it's been a bit of an experience.
She says the building will be used as a community center and home to other groups like the Potters Guild and McKenzie Men's Shed.
This is a place where you can learn and do things and meet people. That's what I'm excited about.
Takar says he's happy the former Gurdwara is getting a second chance at life.
Some days I feel bad, like everybody's gone, but I got my job over here. My wife works in the post office, and I'm happy over here.
And for him, McKenzie is home, and he doesn't plan on leaving. Hannah Peterson, CBC News, Prince George.
A wildfire near Port Alberni that triggered evacuation orders last week is now being held. The BC Wildfire Service says the fire is about 35 square kilometers. It's projected to remain around that size. The fire had shown aggressive, intense behavior in its first few days, but rainfall over the weekend helped fight the blaze. And Joanna Wagstaff joins us now with a first look at the weather. What is coming our way now, Joe?
Well, Baneet, we have a high pressure bringing summer weather back for most of the province. We will have to keep an eye on fire danger. Right now, conditions are mainly low to moderate, especially across the coast. Thanks to that rainfall, things are going to creep back up with this long, dry stretch ahead, and it is going to get warm. Just a taste of that summer weather today. Here are your highs that you hit: 26 and through Abbotsford, 28 for Kamloops, 22 up towards Fort Nelson. Add another 5 degrees onto these temperatures, and that's where we'll land early next week. I'll take you through the next summer weather, because we're not done with it yet, Baneet, coming up in a bit.
It'll be sizzling. Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
And hot pot and poke. Now, these dishes are not just for humans, but also for your pets. More on a restaurant that's bringing that experience for our furry friends next. The Luguentz Nation, it says it's frustrated with the province on its decision to close Joffre Lakes Park for 1 month. The nation's political chief says it's a fraction of what was asked and not in the spirit of reconciliation. Rafferty Baker reports.
It's one of BC's most popular provincial parks, the stunning Joffre Lakes shimmer, glacial silt suspended in the water. It's become a destination for visitors from around the world. And that's put pressure on the park, leading to pushback from the First Nations, upon whose unceded territories the park lies. The province has agreed to temporary closures for exclusive Luguentz Nation and Nakotqua cultural use. But the specifics aren't sitting well with Luguentz Nation.
Well, it's very disappointing and disheartening.
The province says the park will be closed to the public September 2nd to October 3rd. It's the second closure this year, a total of 68 days, a little more than half of what the nations wanted.
This is not reconciliation, right? This is a continuation of colonial decision-making, disregarding our needs and values on the land.
Chief Nelson says his nation's members had planned a Labor Day long weekend celebration, but the ministry is keeping the park open for the general public instead.
I mean, it is still management of a, amusement park kind of thing, right? So it is other people's values that they have to come and, be seen and take their, selfies there. And so the values are not being honored.
Nelson says the closures are to let the land recover from overuse and to allow the nation's members to celebrate and honor the lands. Environment and Parks Minister Tamara Davidson declined an interview request Wednesday, but said in a statement she wasn't prepared to agree to the nation's requested closure dates, and the decision balances cultural practices, conservation goals, and public access to the park. Rafferty Baker, CBC News, Vancouver.
If you are looking to dine out with your pets, a Steveson restaurant has launched the first hot pot and poke experience for pets. Our Steve Jeanne met with the owner behind Choo Choo to learn more.
So yeah, you can follow me to check out Choo Choo. It's a full sensory experience that we want to create for pets. This is B, which is where we got our inspiration from. We love hot pot and poke ourselves, and then we think it's very fun when we can pick all the ingredients and anything that we like, and we also want to know what they like too, right? So we want to kind of create something similar experience for them to also enjoy the picking experience. The sniff zone allows dogs and cats to sniff and pick whatever they like. So this is a smelling experience for them. And we also have these interactive buttons where you just kind of press it and then they will tell you which one they like.
So good reception from the dogs, but we also know that cats can be very difficult customers and very judgmental. What has the response been like from cat owners?
So right now we've only soft opened for a few days, and there has only been one cat, actually visitor, that came in so far. But which is kind of expected because I feel like cats don't go out as often. But at the same time, we do serve all of our food in takeout containers. So I think as people know what we're all about, then even cats can enjoy their meals at home. Like their owners can actually just take out for them.
You do seem very passionate about dogs and cats. You do seem very passionate about your animals and their diet. Where does the passion come from?
I think it's natural. I've always loved dogs, ever since I was little, because I always feel like they're just super. They're humans' best friends. In their world, we're the only people for them, right? Like every day they're just waiting for us to get home, and that's also part of the reason why we want to open a pet restaurant, that we can always spend more time with them.
That was CBC's Steve Jeanne. A warm August day on the upper part of Luguentz Lake. Johanna Wagstaff will have your full provincial forecast coming up.
This is Vancouver is a new CBC podcast where we explore the issues, the stories, and the people that make this place home. Listen to This is Vancouver wherever you get your podcasts.
A Montreal teen facing terrorism-related charges has appeared before the Youth Division of the Court of Quebec. The RCMP say he was allegedly planning an attack on behalf of ISIS. CBC's Melissa Francois has more.
A Montreal teenager appeared in youth court after being arrested on terrorism charges. We cannot identify the teen, but we know he is 17 years old and facing 3 charges of financing, participating, and facilitating terrorist activities. Now, we saw his mother today, and she couldn't hold back tears when she got inside the courtroom. The teen himself appeared like he was not totally present. At one moment, Justice Martine Nolin was talking to him, and she said, "I'm not sure if you're listening, but I will continue to talk to you." He was surrounded by 3 intervention officers, and there were also RCMP officers inside. Now, the teen remains in custody until Monday to set a date for his bail hearing. Here's the federal Crown prosecutor explaining the reasons why he objected to bail.
It's because we believe there's a risk that he would not come to court when so ordered. Secondly, we also believe there are grounds to fear that he will commit another criminal offense while waiting for the next court date for trial. And thirdly, that it would, the fact of being released under the circumstances here, which I won't comment in great detail because the evidence is not out yet in court, but it would affect the trust that the public has in the courts, in the judicial system.
The teen was arrested on Wednesday in an apartment in the Côte-des-Neiges, NDG borough in Montreal. The RCMP says about 40 police officers participated in the operation. The investigation alleges he was taking various steps to carry out at least one attack on behalf of the Islamic State and posted threatening messages on social media, that he was also trying to get a long rifle-style gun. If he pleads guilty or is found guilty, the prosecutor will ask for an adult sentence. Melissa Francois, CBC News, Montreal.
We have some new information in a high-profile case involving the Canadian Armed Forces. So last month, the RCMP charged 4 men in Quebec with terrorism, all with military ties. They are accused of plotting to form an anti-government militia and planning to seize land near Quebec City. CBC's Sarah Levitt has the latest from Montreal.
Heavily armed, fully equipped in military gear. This was just one of the training sessions of an anti-government group the RCMP says was plotting to violently take over land near Quebec City. Now, unsealed RCMP documents show an investigation into an Instagram account began in March 2023, but it quickly grew. 4 men were put under intense surveillance. Marc-Aurèle Chabot and Matthew Forbes, both serving members of the Canadian Armed Forces, Simon Anger-Audet, a former member, and Raphaël Lagacé, a civilian instructor. The RCMP alleges Chabot was the de facto leader of a group of extremists. Appearing under a pseudonym in a now-deleted podcast episode of Modern Canadian Shooter, the documents allege Chabot highlighted his stance on the government. You need to be reliant on yourself, have a community that backs you. So whatever the F the governments try to pull, try coming after dudes that are prepared, are tight, run their shit well. You can't. It's going to be another Waco. He's referring to the 1993 siege in Waco, Texas, after a 51-day standoff between federal agents and the Branch Davidian cult. More than 80 people were killed. In Quebec, the RCMP soon tapped the men's cell phones, put GPS trackers on their vehicles, and monitored both their mail deliveries and banking. Training sessions were also recorded from the air. Aerial shots show unidentified individuals fully kitted in gear, using handguns, long guns with illegal magazines, and smoke grenades. Some of these sessions happened here at a quarry outside of Quebec City owned by Lagacé's family. In one session, infiltrated by officers, the RCMP alleges participants were taught how to prepare for an invasion, including how to slit throats and shoot people in the head. In January 2024, the RCMP moved in, seizing what one expert called the largest cache of weapons, ammunition, and gear in Canadian history. The men were arrested this July. None of these allegations have been tested in court. Sarah Levitt, CBC News, Montreal.
Russia launched one of its biggest aerial attacks of the year overnight in western Ukraine. Authorities say the bombardment included 500 drones and 40 missiles, leaving one person dead and injuring several others. An American-owned factory near the Hungarian border was also struck by missiles. The aerial assaults come amid a U.S.-led diplomatic push to end Russia's war on Ukraine. Donald Trump met with Russian leader Vladimir Putin in Alaska last week and hosted Ukraine's president Volodymyr Zelensky and European leaders at the White House on Monday. But since then, there appears to be little sign of progress. The United Nations is calling for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza and the unconditional release of all hostages. This comes in response to the Israeli army preparing to launch a new ground offensive in the territory's biggest city. CBC's Chris Brown has the latest.
1 million Palestinians are crammed into Gaza City, many displaced from their homes several times over and now fleeing again. Israeli bombardments have increased ahead of what the IDF is foreshadowing as an all-out assault. We will deepen the attacks on Gaza City, a stronghold of government and military terror, said Brigadier General Efi Defrin. Despite hunger and fear, some in Gaza are taking their opposition to the streets, the brave ones to protest Hamas, while here they're holding up English signs for international audiences protesting Israel. Stop the genocide, said Mohammed Halas. We can't take it. Gaza City will be destroyed. Where are we supposed to go? The head of UNRWA, the key UN agency for Palestinians that Israel accuses of supporting terrorism and it denies, said Israel's attack on Gaza City would amount to a death sentence for countless weakened, already malnourished children. Aisha Wadan said she had to feed her 8-month-old son Hatem natural herbs because there was no milk and she was too weak to breastfeed. Amid so much death and pain came a rare story of survival from 23-year-old Saja Hamad. She was almost completely buried after an Israeli strike collapsed her house, but remarkably, rescuers managed to dig her out. I was sleeping, she said, and suddenly I found myself under the rubble. There is a ceasefire deal on the table that Hamas has reportedly accepted, but Israel has now rejected. It would see 10 of approximately 20 living hostages freed over a 60-day ceasefire. But Netanyahu says they must all be freed. And while Israel negotiates, the assault on Gaza City will continue. Chris Brown, CBC News, London.
As communities assess the damage after destructive wildfires, increased home insurance claims could mean higher costs for those living in Atlantic Canada. How wildfires might push premiums higher. That's next. Newfoundland, the largest fire burning in the province, the Kingston Fire, still remains out of control. As Katie Nicholson reports, efforts to extinguish it include a new tool from Canada's aerial firefighting fleet.
All right, so behind me is the Kingston Fire, and you might see up there a line of water bombers. Today, the province is launching what it's calling a full aerial assault on this fire. And in addition to water bombers, there is something of a new addition to the Canadian wildfire fight that's been participating in the fight here in Newfoundland for the first time. It's called a Fire Raptor.
That's the tank.
Yeah.
The snorkel. We hover down in the water. Put the snorkel, the pump is on the end of the snorkel. Put the pump in the water, start pumping, and the bag is collapsible, so it starts to extend. And when it's full, we carry 5,000 liters. When it's full, head to the fire.
It's a retrofitted Sikorsky S92, but with a water bladder that's attached to the undercarriage that uses a high-power hose to suck water from ponds and then spray it onto wildfires. Pilots say a few designs on this aircraft allow for better accuracy when it comes to hitting those hot spots.
We have the bubble window here, so I can look down, straight down this hole, and I can look down at the snorkel and get an accurate read on where we want the water, and properly adjust for any wind that we're dealing with.
These Fire Raptors have been adapted from choppers that have aged out of offshore service but still have more years of life left in them. They're stripped of passenger seats and bulkheads, anything that adds weight so it can carry more water. They started to be used in fires out west last summer.
A great power machine, precision dropping. They're amazed at what this aircraft can do. Power, speed, precision. The flight crews love it. And yes, it's in high demand.
There are 2 in service in Canada right now, with a 3rd chopper being converted, but this is the first time that a Fire Raptor has been used in Newfoundland. All the focus right now is on the Kingston Fire, which of course has burned more than 200 structures. And there are hopes that the efforts today will bring evacuees one day closer to returning and rebuilding. Katie Nicholson, CBC News, in the Heart's Content Barrens.
Hundreds of structures have been destroyed by wildfires in Atlantic Canada, and many more are still at risk. It's becoming the new reality for the region. As Nicholas Asian shows us, that could mean higher insurance costs for homeowners.
Tricia Murray remembers the day her home was reduced to rubble.
We could see embers falling, we could see ash falling. The pine needles were hitting our house. It sounded like hail.
151 homes were destroyed when the 2023 Upper Tantallon wildfire tore through subdivisions just outside of Halifax.
We were traumatized from the evacuation itself. We were traumatized afterwards by the fact that we lost everything.
Murray says the insurance process took hundreds of hours, and it was 20 months before her home was rebuilt. It's a reality more people across Atlantic Canada are facing as wildfires push closer to communities.
They're bigger, they're larger, they're much harder to control.
When Paul Kovacs analyzed insured loss data, he found that homes damaged by wildfires in Canada were concentrated in Alberta and BC for decades until 2023. But this fire season is different.
It's a national issue in terms of fires. It's becoming more of a national issue in terms of structures being lost.
Besides being Canada's second worst season on record, the majority of property destruction is happening across the prairies and in Atlantic Canada. That's a challenge for homeowners and insurers.
They all need to make decisions based on their losses for how they can serve their customers going forward.
And if insurance companies are getting more claims and paying out more losses, higher premiums could follow.
Insurance companies will think about, is the price they're charging the right price for the risk?
One more thing for homeowners like Murray to worry about as wildfires become the new normal. Nicholas Sagan, CBC News, Halifax.
Atlantic fire crews are closely watching what's happening out in the ocean. Hurricane Erin is heading north after battering parts of the U.S. East Coast. The Category 2 storm whipped up huge waves from North Carolina to Delaware. It's now headed out to sea, and it's expected to gradually lose its power. Johanna Wagstaff joins us now with another look at the weather. Joe, you are also tracking Erin tonight. What's the latest with that?
Baneet, as you mentioned, this storm is staying offshore, but this is a massive hurricane. This size expanding almost 1,000 kilometers as far as those tropical storm force winds. Such a textbook example of how hurricanes are going to continue to be impacted by climate change. This just exploding from a Category 1 to a Category 5 in less than 24 hours because of warm waters. So we still have those high surf advisories all the way up into Atlantic Canada. Again, even though the storm's offshore, we could see coastal erosion and flooding. And again, it's partly because this storm is so big, one of the biggest we have seen. Those northerly winds wrapping in behind it. Also, what we're watching across Atlantic Canada this weekend, they are dry northerly winds. Not a great combination with those existing wildfires. Meanwhile, on the west coast, very different story building in for us. High pressure, as I mentioned earlier, our recipe for summer weather. Just a few lingering showers tonight and tomorrow morning up towards the northeast, and some high cloud drifting across the south coast. You can see it out the window right now. That's going to clear out over the next couple of days. In fact, watch the cloud cover as I take you through Friday. Watch Friday night into Saturday. A little bit of fog sneaks around the strait, but generally, we've got blue skies. Sunday into Monday, watching another chance for some high cloud to try and sneak in. This model isn't picking it up as well, but we're really just tracking blips of high cloud in the long-range forecast. That's all we got. 31 and through Kamloops tomorrow. We're going to start hitting the 30s in the southern interior by Friday, tomorrow and Saturday. Prince George, 25 for tomorrow. A similar story in through Williams Lake, Quesnel. Dease Lake, 21. Overnight lows in the northwest down around 6 to 9. So we're starting to get those crisp mornings in the north, but above seasonal in the afternoons. Okay, breaking it down for YVR, 23 tomorrow, starting to feel a bit of a humidex. Inland, we're already going to be hitting the high 20s. Saturday and Sunday, classic summer weather. 30s if you're even just a couple blocks away from the water. There's that slight risk of some high cloud on Sunday, and then back to the sunny weather and 30 humidex values for Metro Vancouver right through next week. Beneath the next chance I see of any rain, next Saturday.
Oh,
so,
wow.
It's a stretch.
Whole lot of sunshine.
Yes.
Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
Recent data from the Public Health Agency of Canada indicates that opioid toxicity deaths are down across the country. Alison Northcott now on why experts say those numbers, they don't tell the whole story.
At this Toronto supervised consumption site, a decline in opioid deaths in Canada doesn't tell the whole story. They've been helping a growing number of people avoid the worst.
We're running to alleys, stairwells, on the street, just running to respond to overdoses that are happening in public.
A new report says opioid toxicity deaths in the country decreased by 17% from 2023 to 2024. It points to several factors, including changes to the drug supply.
We know it's a very dynamic, unregulated supply. We know that new substances emerge and then they disappear for a while.
In BC, for example, there was less of the high-potency opioid carfentanil found in drug samples last year, potentially making the supply there less deadly.
While I'm really elated to see these reductions in overdose mortality, it's quite disappointing to me that 10, 15 years into this generation-defining public health crisis, we're relying on drug trafficking organizations to decide whether people live or die.
He and others say Canada needs a safe, regulated drug supply to save lives, because despite last year's overall decline, opioid toxicity still killed more than 7,000 people. And in Quebec, Newfoundland, and Northwest Territories, deaths went up.
Even though numbers may be decreasing Canada-wide, it's still an astronomically higher number than it was back in 2017.
Experts say another thing driving the overall decrease speaks to the scope of the crisis.
The people who are most likely to die are already dead, which is a very horrible and morbid thought.
In Toronto, the provincial government recently shut down 4 supervised consumption sites because they were within 200 meters of schools or daycares. Those remaining are scrambling.
People are just feeling really abandoned, feeling really disappointed that these services that they had relied upon are now gone.
The report also says so far in 2025, emergency calls and deaths linked to drug toxicity are once again climbing in some parts of the country. Alison Northcott, CBC News, Montreal.
A potentially deadly tick-borne illness is spreading in Canada, but it's not Lyme disease. Human cases of Rocky Mountain spotted fever have been reported in Ontario, Quebec, and BC. And as the CBC's Jayla Bernstein tells us, the illness is treatable.
There's a new tick-borne illness that's spreading to Canada, and it can be deadly. It's called Rocky Mountain spotted fever. Now, the good news is that it is preventable. The same advice that applies to avoiding and preventing Lyme disease applies to preventing this illness. If you're going to enjoy the outdoors, you want to stick to well-groomed paths like this one. If you're going to go into the woods, off the main paths, well, if you're going to see long grass like this is where you want to be suiting up to protect yourself.
So it's not too complicated to protect ourselves from tick bite. Proper clothing, the DEET. Then when you get back home, tick check. Shower, my laundry is going to go directly in the wash.
Now, the condition, the illness, is treatable if it's caught early. Antibiotics can be used, but the key is watching out for symptoms. Doctors say if you have a fever, if you have nausea, and if you have a telltale rash, which can show up as red splotches or pinpoint dots on your skin, and if you've been somewhere where you could have been in contact with ticks, well, the advice is to consult a doctor as quickly as possible. Jayla Bernstein, CBC News, Longueuil, Quebec.
A Montreal-born basketball star receives a hero's welcome home after winning the NBA's most important trophy for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Amy Bell, and here's what's in your CBC inbox.
CBC is proud to partner with the Dr. Peter Centre for their annual Life Commitment Gala, an evening honoring Dr. Peter Jepson Young. For more information, visit drpeter.org. And the Northern Super League is back at Swangard Stadium as Vancouver Rise takes on Montreal Roses on Saturday, August 30th. Come by the CBC tent and share your soccer stories for a chance to win some great prizes.
Montreal-born basketball star Luguentz Dort has returned home with the NBA's most important trophy.
The champion took part in a parade, hardware in hand. Kobina Odura was there.
It's a big day here in Montreal North because the Larry O'Brien NBA Championship Trophy is here with Luguentz Dort. It's the first time that it's here in the city since 2019 when Chris Boucher won a championship with the Raptors, and the community here loves Lou Dort. I want to show you what it looks like right now. Lou Dort was just signing autographs with a lot of people, and now people are dispersing. But this is what it's been like all day, and people are chanting Lou, Lou, Lou. And Luguentz Dort says that Montreal North made him who he is, and that's why it was important for him to come back to the city and do a parade and have an event like this.
At a young age, coming from here, I didn't have a specific guy to look at to be like, I want to be like them. And then, you know, to be in this position to the kids' eyes today, it's huge.
Throughout the playoffs here in Montreal North, there were screenings of the NBA Finals because there were two Montrealers in the finals, one being Lou Dort of the Oklahoma City Thunder, and then the other being Bennedict Mathurin of the Indiana Pacers. Lou Dort ended up winning the championship, and I spoke to some kids here today, and one of the biggest themes that I heard from them is that I want to be the next Luguentz Dort. I also spoke to the mayor of the borough of Montreal North, and she says Luguentz Dort is what Montreal is all about.
Today we are really proud about what is happening today with Luguentz Dort. It's the second time that the trophy Larry O'Brien's come here in Montreal North. The last time it was in 2019 with Chris Boucher, and this time in 2025 with Luguentz Dort. So we are so happy to receive the trophy here in Montreal North. It's the proof that all the citizens here, and we have a lot of talent here in Montreal North.
So as the Larry O'Brien Trophy leaves Montreal this time around for the second time, the hope is that the Larry O'Brien Trophy will come back to Montreal North either again with Luguentz Dort or maybe with Bennedict Mathurin. But however, people here are excited that they have an NBA champion in 2025. Kubino Duro, CBC News, Montreal.
The Martin Mars water bomber is an iconic piece of BC history. Used to fight wildfire since the 1950s. Now it's retired, and one of the air tankers was purchased by the province for it to be housed in the BC Aviation Museum.
And soon you can get a tour of the bomber. CBC's Jason D'Souza got a sneak peek.
Every time you look at the Mars, do you get the same goosebumps I get, like seeing this legendary aircraft that we always talk about in this province?
Yeah, I still can't believe it's here. It's been here for a year, and I'm still in awe that it has arrived.
What has it been like at the museum since it arrived last year?
It's been absolutely incredible. The number of people that have shown up that are so excited about the Hawaii Mars is unreal. And also just like the volunteer reaction has been incredible as well. It's just like an incredible vibe around here.
Can we take a tour right now? How would that be?
Absolutely, that sounds perfect.
Okay, let's check it out.
I have to think of how agile these pilots and the flight crew would be coming up here.
Where are we right now?
We are in the water tank area. So these are where all the water tanks are in the Hawaii Mars. It goes from right here all the way over there. I believe there are 8 in total. This is where all the water was stored. These guys right here is what actually got the water in. So these would go down. The Hawaii Mars would skim over whatever lake, so for example, Sprout Lake, whatever lake was longest, and it would pick up water in less than 30 seconds, which is incredible for those pilots specifically. So that plane was going from quite light to quite heavy very quickly.
You know, something like this, it's a feat of mechanical genius to put together an aircraft like this. But I also appreciate, from the museum standpoint, being able to show it, but also in a safe way with all the doohickeys and stuff.
Yeah, we want people to come and enjoy that history, and I think the best way to understand and learn is by really seeing and interacting with it. Yes, the flight deck. This is actually a flying boat. So when they landed, they never landed on land. It was only landing on water. So when they landed, they had to also moor their boat. So they had to stick their heads out, find it. It's the same on the nose. There's nose hole as well. You can stick your head out and grab the anchor.
Okay, this is so cool. I had no idea it was so big inside.
There's a whole office in there.
With like desks, and I would love to see this. I'm gonna sign up for the tour right away. I once made my family peer through a fence when it was, parked at the airport on Vancouver Island. So I've seen it from 200 meters away, but that's it.
You don't get to see things like that much anymore. Nope.
Thanks for being with us tonight on CBC Vancouver News at 6.
And I will have your next local news at 11 o'clock. That's right after the National. Have a great night.
Good night.